สวัสดีค่ะ Hello everyone. Today we are at Chulalongkorn University to meet with อาจารย์เอก Assistant Professor Dr. เอกพลช่วงสุวรรณิช Deputy Director Artificial Intelligence Center at Chulalongkorn University, one of the 9 members of AIEI. สวัสดีค่ะอาจารย์เอก Welcome to OPEN-TEC, program under OPEN-TEC Technology Sharing Platform powered by TCC Technology Group ค่ะ Now let's start with your background and what's the benefit of Chulalongkorn University joining as the AIEI member?
Well, my background first. So I received the Thai government scholarship to go study abroad at the US, and there I went to Carnegie Mellon University for my undergrad and my master's degree, and then I went to MIT to and join the SLS lab, Speech and Language Technology lab, under the Professor Jim Glass and Victor Su. There I did some work on like low resource and multilingual speech recognition. So that's my PhD. And after graduating around 2016 or so, I came back to Chulalongkorn, and there that's during the start of like deep learning boom and AI boom. Right? So beyond just speech, right? Was my main focus at that time. Right? I expand a little bit more to like natural language processing, to computer vision. Right, so I collaborate with many works, right? So some of them involve like call centers, right? That's the basis of like my PhD, right? But I also did some work on X-ray report generation. Using deep learning, you can understand the X-ray image and like write a report, and then the doctor only need to like change a little bit or whatever, and then he can just like approve the report, and so that can be used to shorten the time that the doctor needs to like write those reports. Right, so that's my background, my personal background on research. Before AIEI, let's say it like that. So there's a committee that's more like a consortium that try to look into like big data and AI before AIEI is formed. So
is it the collaboration among universities?
Yeah, the collaboration among universities. And in that collaboration, there's Jula and there's Gazette, there's many universities in there. And that's like just collaborative project on those, right? And then AIEI is formed, right, starting by CMKL and other universities. And at that time, Jula also is trying to form another program, which is CDT, Computer Engineering and Digital Technology program, right? So we start around the same time. That's where the Ministry of like Higher Education, they want to like do the sandbox curriculum, right? So Jula has one, and then AIEI is also another kind of sandbox. So since we're like, we have a sandbox of our own, we don't want to spread out too thin, right? At the time, we didn't join at the start. But after like everything settled down a little bit, after that we joined AIEI because like we think that AI, right, or like big data research requires a lot of collaboration in terms of like human resource, compute, data, right? So this kind of collaboration we in mind, right? So that's why we joined, so that we can strengthen everybody in the sphere, right? So that's the background of how it gets started, right? And now we're like, we have like a lot of collaboration working on like different projects or hackathons or like research collaboration. I have some research collaboration with Dr. Akawit on like speech and language for Thai dialects. For example, like Isan or like Kammuang, right? Those kind of languages.
Okay. Would you like to share the project that you worked with AIEI?
Okay, so I'll talk about the project that's sponsored by PMUC and AIS as well. So at that time, around 2019-2020, if you want to speak like Isan or speak like Kammerang to an ASR system, they probably won't understand you. So at that time, we're like, okay, let's try to build this kind of technology. So we start doing a large-scale collection of different dialects across Thailand, and we release the data as open source. It's around 800 hours of recordings, which is probably the largest data set at the time. Actually, even now, it's still the largest data set of its kind for Thailand. And from that, a lot of technologies got built on top of it. For example, like Tonbalian Whisper, which is one of the probably the most famous speech-to-text model right now for Thailand is built on top of this data set as well. So that project has a big impact on the Thailand ecosystem for this kind of technology. And actually right now we're doing the second phase of that project right now. Hopefully we kick start soon to collect more data on that. So that's one on the
dialect.
On the dialect. And we also have like some research on Thai LLMs. So we work closely with WISTEC, Mahidol, CNKL on like building multimodal LLMs. That is like, oh, we want it to handle not just text but speech, but image as well. Right? So that's something that we're planning to do over the years. Right? It's a long-term project. Yeah.
What are some impressive case studies which you involve in voice and speech AI?
Okay, so let's share some examples. Well, speech, right, is a pretty much more like a core technology that by itself doesn't solve anything, but you need to integrate it to some use case, right? Even if you have like a speech to text, right? What's that for? Right? So one example that easy that people usually think about is like, okay, we're on YouTube right now, and there's like closed caption, right? That you can click and then it has like some subtitles, right?
Yes.
Automatic subtitle. So that's one application of speech to text, right? Going beyond that, we can start to put speech to text with other things. For example, text to speech. That is the reverse problem. Right? So speech to text is have a computer understand what you're speaking.
Yes.
Right? And you need some NLP as well. That is okay. After you get the text, you need to understand the text. Right? And then the computer might want to communicate back to you. Right? So that's text to speech. Right? So if the computer can communicate back, you can start using this kind of technology in, let's say, call centers or like digital kiosks. Right? So we have a project called D-Mind under Professor Pirapon and Ajahn Soropat from Jula Medical Hospital. So that project aims to identify depression in individuals. Right? So anyone can like download the app, right, and then using the app, they can speak to the app and describe what they're feeling and things like that, and then the app will diagnose whether this person is okay, this person is mild depression, this person is severe case, and then the app can like give you a suggestion or like, do you want us to inform the doctors about your condition or not, right? Because we don't want to like hand over patient information without consent, right? Because that's the point of the app actually. Because like there's a lot of stigma, right? There's a lot of stigma in depression.
Yes.
Right? So people might don't want to go to the psychiatrist, right? So maybe they can start with the app. Right? So that's a start that at least they know themselves, right? And whether they want to seek help, that's another issue that we need to address.
That's the app called D-Mind?
Yes, the app called D-Mind. So it's in the hospital and it's used within the university a little bit as well. That is like the students, right? Actually, Jula has a higher rate of depression compared to like the general public, which is expected. I mean, like Juฬาstudents are like overachievers, right? And usually overachievers, they like usually stressed, right? They're
Yes.
stressed, very stressed. So that's why like we have this kind of screening inside internal as well. And beyond that, we actually collaborate with the hotline that is provided by the government for people to call in, right? When they feeling depressed and things like that, they can call in. And usually when you call this hotline,
Yes.
even though it's called a hotline, the wait time can be very long.
It's not that hot.
Even though it's a hotline, you can imagine like because like people when they're like having problems, right, and they call in, right, usually need a lot of time to explain, right?
Sometimes it's so long.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time. That's why like this hotline has a long wait time.
Yes.
Right. So instead of waiting, usually like during your wait of a call center, you
Listen to
hear
the
some music, right? Which is like wasting some time.
Yeah.
Might as well. So we use this app to just ask, what do you feel and things like that, right? If you talk with us, maybe we can help you. And then if you're in like real need, maybe we can skip the queue for you. We can. Or like sometimes we can alert the authorities right away for you, right? So that's in use right now, and it has handled more than 100,000 of cases.
Oh, really?
And we identify like a lot of severe cases over the year or so. So that's probably one of the most successful use case of this technology in terms of the humanitarian side of things. But if you go like on the less grand use case, for example, like meeting transcription, right, meeting summary and things like that, that nowadays inside many applications, right, you use Zoom, it usually summarizes the meeting for you and things like that.
Okay, so that's another example, right?
Yes.
Okay. Apart from that, do you have any other real use case that apply AI to industries?
Well, call centers can be used in like pretty much any industry, right? So we have a collaboration with True, use our AI to like handle call centers call when they call in, right? The same kind of story, right? Instead of waiting for humans, if your case can be handled by AI. Yes. Which actually like a surprising amount of cases of people calling in. It's like very simple. For example, what is the amount of my bill right now? You don't even need to get to a person to answer that, right? So so that kind of things can get handled easily by AI. Right, so that's one, or like there's a couple of case study in the hospital. Usually when the doctor interviewing the patient, the doctor wants to like write down the patient's condition or diagnosis and things like that, right? They have to type, right? So instead of typing, right, they just speak and then the report is done for them. Or even like they don't have to type, they just like during the interview, right, the device just like record everything and then summarize and then like this is the form, do you agree with it or not, you can change a little bit and things like that.
Okay, so it helps a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of use case for speech and NLP in industry.
Okay. And apart of healthcare, are there any other industries?
Well, call center covers many industry, also like robotics, right? When you deal with robots, you probably want to speak to them a little bit. That's one thing. Or on the phone, right? People, instead of typing, they just speak now, right? So that's probably the main things, right? Why do we speak? Usually we want to communicate, right? So anything that involves communication, that's for like speech to text. Another thing, I guess, besides just speech to text, I will cover a little bit more. So if you think about speech or voice in general, what other information are there in speech besides just the content? That's the thing you convey, right? But you can also like emotion is in there, right? Identity is in there. Also like your health is also in there in your voice, right? If you have a cold, right, your voice sound different, right? So besides just the content, people have like try to make use of this information in other ways. You can like monitor like the person's emotion, right, or stress level, well, just from their pattern, right, without the content at all. Just like how their voice changes over time, right? Or like dementia patient, right? They sometimes just only see like whether when people start having dementia, their speech becomes more monotone, right? Having less and less emotion. Right? So you don't even need to look at the content for sometimes for certain applications.
So the system can recognize that kind of things. Oh, that would help a lot. And what are the emerging trends in AI that you think is shape the future?
I think if you extrapolate from what I have been talking about, right? I've been talking about voice AI in very limited cases, like call center, medical, right? But ultimately, people might think about, I want Jarvis, just like in Iron Man. Right, a personal helper, right? If you have my phone, I can talk to it. Like, remind me, blah blah blah, about or like my phone can like, I have a meeting, you should go there, or like, this is almost lunch. Should I order food for you right away, or something like that, right? Becoming a more like a secretary kind of thing, or like personal assistant, a real one, right?
That would be nice.
Yeah, so that's something that a lot of tech companies trying to build, right? But I think that the technology is not there yet. The key barrier right now first is about the cost. Doing like a real-time streaming of speech, like 24/7 is quite expensive. So that's something that people have been working on, like how to make this cheaper. The reason why like this kind of technology works well in control environment is that you can cover a lot of the cases. You can think ahead about like what are the potential cases that you have to handle in like a call center situation or like in a medical interview situation, right? But in real life, right, there are so many things, right? So that's another venue of research on how do we have AGI. Pretty much to solve that, you need AGI, right? You need a system that learns your patterns of like interaction and like what's your preference, and like knows how to deal with issues by itself, right? So that requires another level of understanding.
How long do you think?
So I got asked about AGI quite a lot, and I think AGI is not something like you pass this certain threshold and then you're now AGI. Right? I think of AGI more like a spectrum of like capabilities, right? Because you can think of like, is a 6-year-old AGI? In a sense, he's AGI, but he's not that smart, right? Or like, 10-year-old or like a 20 years old, right? So there are several stages of AGI. I think it's hard to pinpoint where. So I usually don't like that definition of AGI, like trying to compare to humans. But I like OpenAI's Sam Altman's definition of AGI. That is like, he compare AGI with the average human in like different categories. For example, in math, in science, things like that. And he said, AGI is when the computer is comparable to humans in like various subjects, right? And that's where your spectrum is like, now I think we are very good in math now. Right? Math is like probably better than the average human, but in a lot of other subject areas, I think we're still behind, especially the ones that deal with like the physical world or like deal with intuition, right? So that's, or like culture, right? It's very hard to encapsulate culture, right? Because usually when the AI, right, especially LLMs, when it learns, the knowledge is written, right? Right now, the LLMs learn from written knowledge.
Yes.
But culture is something that you experience, right? So it's very hard to describe, like in text, like oh, this is Thailand. So that's where like oh, you need physical AI. That is like oh, you need robots and you need AI that understand video that can interact with the real world. I think that's where I think that's will take some time, and like people can say like oh maybe 2030 or I don't know 35. I think the physical AI I think will take some time because it takes a lot more resources to do robotics compared to like okay just buying GPUs. Well,
not that easy, right?
Not that easy. Yeah.
So it's like it takes time for us to like learn how to train them more
Yes,
in many areas, right? อาจารย์คะ what's your opinion about the AI workforce in Thailand?
For Thailand, over the years, right, we've been quite focused on the AI workforce development because we have like the national AI plan that's been in effect for almost like 7 or 8 years by now. With that, we've been building quite a number of engineers, and I think that we're doing pretty well in that regard. For me personally, what I think is lacking for Thailand is the scientist level. We don't have that many PhDs in AI. We have a lot of engineers, let's say master or undergrad level.
Yes.
And we don't have PhD, we don't have enough like research that is in the global level that is like appear in top conferences. So that's something that we're lacking on. But I think like on the user level or engineer level, I think we're quite ahead compared to a lot of countries actually. Well, doesn't mean that we're at the point we want to be, but I think we're ahead of the curve as a user or as adoption, right? We're quite ahead in terms of like making the technology our own or like building our own technology. I think we're still behind, and that's where like the university has to pick up, trying to like do more research, create more PhD level, bring more students to the PhD level, so that we can create the next thing, right? I think right now for AI, I think right now the phase is in the adoption phase. So and that's where like all the engineers that we built so far, like the AI super AI engineers or like the AIEI universities, those can feed to that pipeline. But what next, right? What's next beyond just like okay LLMs? I think that's where we need some research. Also, another thing that would be important is that we need to build expertise in the vertical. That is like okay, we have different industry, right? For example, medical, manufacturing, agriculture, right? So there's still some gap, right, between computer people and then the vertical people, right, the industry people.
Yes.
So bridging this gap is another thing that I think we can do better as a country.
Last but not least, any key message that you may like to leave for our audience?
From the questions, right? Usually when I speak or talk, right, I usually got asked about like, okay, what should I do in this era of like AI or era of disruption? Right? What should I do? So as a person, let's say, because like usually like companies they have the resource, right? They will always do something, right? Because they're more adaptive, I would say. But I think as a person, I think it's harder because usually, especially like if you're a working person, right? Working person, you already have a lot of responsibilities, right? At work and things like that. So my suggestion to that is, well, you can start small. There's online courses that you can just like look and study from. For example, like AIET has a course for beginners. Also, Jula has like a Jula MOOC that is open for everybody to like learn the basics of AI, right? And once you learn that, maybe you can try ChatGPT, right? If you haven't tried it, and try to incorporate those knowledge into when you're playing around with ChatGPT. Right? So that's the simple things, simple steps that you can do. And if you're into it, you can try to go more serious about that. And I think right now there's a lot of opportunities for reskilling. Super engineer is a good one. They actually like try to cover your salary a little bit, so that you can like take some time, some leave from your work. Maybe if you want to be more serious. There's a lot of professionals that actually like leave, take some time off from work and learn from that boot camp. It's like a 3-month boot camp that you can come and study this intensive course.
That one offered by Chulalongkorn?
It's by AIET, AI Association of Thailand, I think. Chulalongkorn, and I think a lot of the AIEI universities is involved in that project. It's a big project because like every year we train 1,000 engineers. So that's one thing that to get started. Right? Yeah, I think it's time to explore what's possible with AI and see whether it can help in your everyday life.
Okay, so your suggestion for them to maybe learn more about AI
Yes.
also, right?
Yes.
We would like to thank you อาจารย์เอกนะคะ for being with us in Open Talk today. I think you shared the great stuff for our audience today. For the audience who are interested in AIEI, you also can visit the website bmkl.ac.th/AIEI ค่ะ and this is the mini series of AIEI นะคะ สวัสดีค่ะ